Adriana Monique Alvarez, and I'm so excited to be back with you for more of our So Much More stories. I'm the founder of Alma Publishing, and what I have realized is that the sacred art of storytelling has nearly been lost. I mean, if you look at how we live in societies now, we do not have these big communities. We don't take the time to sit around the fire and share a wisdom. I mean, we're lucky if people are willing to share a meal with us, right? So I wanted to create this space for stories to be shared. And today's guest is Cecilia. Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
Hi, I'm so great. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first off, tell us where in the world you're joining us from.
I am coming to you from Canada, just outside of Toronto in Richmond Hill, Ontario.
I love it. Very good. And Cecilia, how do most people know you? Like they know you as what?
They know me as a soulful business coach. I am an energy healer and an author.
And we know you're so much more than this. Um, is there anyone that you would like to dedicate your story to?
I have to dedicate this to my mom, Elizabeth, who is my inspiration in my world, and my two beautiful friends who I've lost, my friend Carla and my friend Diane, who recently passed. So I want to dedicate this to them.
Beautiful. I'm going to turn it over to you now, and I'm going to listen to your beautiful story.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's so great to be on here with everybody. My story started off when I was a little girl. And as a little girl, I grew up in a house with abuse. And my father was very abusive physically, mentally, emotionally. And one of the biggest things that changed my life was being in a position of disempowerment where I was small, I was young, I was told that, I was poorly behaved and therefore deserved that treatment. And one of the biggest things I remember is, I had put together a puppet show. And in this puppet show, it was a few minutes. I put together these sock puppets. I pushed these boxes together. And I remember my mom and dad getting home. I was so excited to show them. And he got home and he started raging and getting upset and saying, how could you let her do this to my mom? And he went to punch her. And I remember looking up at him and pushing him back. And he stumbled back and he punched a hole in the wall instead. And I looked at that hole every day for most of my childhood from the ages of 8 to 14. And I remember looking at that thinking, what is this life? Why am I here? Why is this happening to me? And throughout my entire adulthood, even though my dad had left my mom when I was 14, I was left feeling like I wasn't worth anything, that I had to please people in order to be happy, that I would never be able to be in a position of actually feeling good about me. I didn't love myself. I didn't like myself. I got lost in a lot of toxic relationships and situations. I had really essentially tanked my entire life. And until I was about 40, I was still living this like shell of an existence where I was pretending to be confident, pretending to feel good, pushing myself to the brink, working so hard that I had nothing left for me, to the point where I was suicidal, depressed, down on the floor. And really, one of the most defining moments is when my children came and they picked me up off the ground. And I remember thinking to myself, I can't hit any more rock bottom than this. And then I hit even more rock bottom. And that happened over and over again until the one moment that changed my life is 5 years ago, my best friend Carla passed away. She was killed by a drunk driver. And I remember one of the last things I had texted her was I was going to confront my dad face to face about the abuse. And the last thing she said to me was, how did it go? And I remember in the moment of finding out she had passed, moments after I had confronted my dad, all the anger left my body. I decided I was no longer going to wait for my life to be better. I was no longer going to sit in the why and the wherefore or the blame. I said, I'm going to do something to change it. And so I did that day, and I ended up writing a book about it. And in my book, it's called If I Could, I Would, right here, right? And it's a children's book. And I wrote in it my story and my perspective as a child, where I was able to take back my power. And I remember I was about to publish it and I said, I need to tell my dad because I knew that it would be coming out. And so I sent him a copy, and something beautiful happened in that moment. He said, can I write a letter at the end? And he did. And in the letter, he asks people, he says, if you can be the kind of parent who doesn't hit, who doesn't hurt, who can love before they anger. That's what you really need. And so, and the very last thing he says in the letter in the book is he says, that a second of your love is worth a century of mine. And so I put the letter in the back of the book. I put his photo with me in the back. And that for me was life-changing because I just stopped feeling bad. I stopped feeling like I had to stay stuck. I stopped, there's him. This is him and me. And I stopped feeling like I had to wait for someone else to make me happy. And so now I'm in a position where I'm beautifully happy. I'm beautifully abundant. I let go of my anger and the freedom of forgiveness so that I could embody my own soul, my own strength. And now I help entrepreneurial women to build their businesses from a place of soul with my bestie business partner, Cheryl Jananga. And so that's what I do now every day. And it's so worth it. And so beautiful and amazing because I just want everyone to understand their intrinsic value, their ability to change their lives, to make a decision, to make a choice, to say, yes, I'm enough. I'm more than enough. And I don't have to look to anyone else to make that happen. So that's my story.
Woo, Cecilia. I mean, so much here. And the fact that you were so willing to keep your heart open. You were so willing to look for the gift and to offer it to others. And that you kept also loving your father through it all. Kept extending that invitation. Incredibly powerful.
It was a huge moment for me and one that I will never forget. And I think that's the thing, I thought I was going to suffer in silence my whole life and be a victim of abuse. And instead, I'm thriving past it and using that story to help inspire other people. And that to me is a beautiful thing, to not stay in the pain, but to work in the progress.
And I think you said a key piece there is that the silence does contribute to that.
Yes.
Breaking the silence and staying in the silences are two very different paths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We have to talk about it. If we don't talk about our pain and release it and transform our energy for something else, that's what's going to stop us from doing the real work, And now I know that this is my power and my purpose and my presence. This is what I was meant for. And so I don't let anything stop me now.
Yeah, absolutely. You've already slayed your Goliaths and you're so clear on who you are and the purpose that you are here, that you're here for. You're here on divine purpose. Thank you for staying the course and for answering the call over and over and over when it would have been easier not to.
Yeah. It's so easy to give up. It really is. And when you can look past the give up and say, hey, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to give up. I'm going to give out. I'm going to actually give, right? Give from your soul, and others will inevitably give back and share back 10,000 fold, So now that's what I do every day.
Wow. Okay. So where else do you like to share your story and your mission? Are you open for podcasts, summits, all of that?
Everything. Absolutely. I'm happy to speak, to connect, to share, to collaborate. That's what I love doing. So yeah, I would be very happy to do any of that.
Beautiful. And where can people best connect with you?
You know what? Just right on my Facebook page, on my profile. What I'll do is I'll just go in here into the broadcast and I will just put my profile link. And believe it or not, I've built my entire business without a website, without anything. I literally just utilize, my Facebook profile and my Facebook group. So what I will do is they can find us inside of Successful Soulful Women Entrepreneurs. That's our group. If anyone wants to connect there, they can do that. That would be lovely. I would love for them to join our group and chat with us that way.
Beautiful. No, and I love it. Everybody just has to find their own way, right? And might as well let it be simple. So please reach out to Cecilia on her Facebook profile and in her group. I know you can put in a request to join. Thank you so much for your journey. And thank you for writing a book. And that's the other thing. I would love, will you give us that title of your book again?
Yes, it's if I could, I would, and they can just reach out to me personally. I'm selling them directly, and I'll send you a signed copy. So just send me a DM, and I would love to connect with you. It's really great, and it's inexpensive. It's like $15. So if you want it, come and get it. I would love to share my message with you.
Beautiful. If I could, I would definitely get your copy. And Cecilia, I know I just gave you my address, so make sure you send me a copy, and then
Yours is coming for sure. I will get that to you 100%.
okay, sweet. I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing your story here and for being of service, for helping us all go deeper and to remember who we are.
No,
I want
thank
to
you.
absolutely. I want to remind everyone, if you have a story to share, we would love to feature you. And if you would like to contribute to our next book, The Younger Self Letters, we are looking for successful entrepreneurs who are willing to pull back the curtain and share from their heart. Every chapter is actually written to our younger selves. I have the link there, and I would love to speak to you about it. Until next time, here is to, oh my goodness, trying to think of all of the ways to wrap up what you embody, Cecilia. I mean, that's just absolute, pure, unconditional love.
Oh.
Here's to putting more of that in the world. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you,
Thank
Cecilia.
you. Thank you so much.